Everyone, this is Amy, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making Valentine's dumplings. For this dish, we need to start with the dough. So to a large bowl, we're going to add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour. This is a really simple dough. A teaspoon of kosher salt, and to make these a little pink, we're going to use a little organic beetroot powder, 2 teaspoons for this. You can also use food dye. You don't have to dye them at all. White roses are just as lovely. We're going to give this a little mix before drizzling in a little over half a cup of warm water. And as usual, your best kitchen tools are going to be your clean hands. So once this has come together a little bit, go ahead and get in there and give this a really good knead with your hands to bring this dough together. Once it's mostly come together, we're going to tip this out onto a workbench to really knead this into a beautiful, smooth dough. So tip that out, and all this dry will absorb into the dough. Just trust the process. Once it's come together, we're going to put that back in the bowl, cover with a kitchen towel, and let this sit for an hour. While that's sitting, we can make our filling. We need to chop up 3 scallions, both the white and the green parts. We're going to add this to ½ pound of ground pork. We also need about 5 shrimp, or ½ of a pound. You want to kind of smash them a little bit with your cleaver or heavy knife. This is going to tenderize the shrimp. And then we're going to give this a really good mince and add that in with our pork. Next, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. This is going to help bind it, a teaspoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt, and a ½ teaspoon of freshly ground white pepper. We're also going to add in 2 tablespoons of a neutral oil or olive oil if that's what you have, along with 2 tablespoons of shoaxing wine, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And we're going to give this a really, really good mix until a little paste forms on the bottom. And we're going to let this rest for ½ an hour as well. Just pop that in the fridge. Now our dough has rested for an hour, and this is a little tedious. You don't have to weigh this, but I went ahead and weighed the dough first gave it a little knead first. But this was a little over 4.5 grams, so I weighed out 8 grams per little ball of dough, and I made 54. You only need 51 of these. But it does go quickly once you start to eyeball the size. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we're going to layer these. To roll these out, we're going to lay down a little bit of cornstarch. We're also going to sprinkle some on our pin too, because it's still a little sticky. We want to roll this out pretty thin because we are layering these, and we don't want really thick dumplings. These are going to be thick enough already, so about 3 inches and as thin as you can possibly get. We're going to stack them on a little tray with cornstarch, dusting both sides so the little rounds don't stick together. So you're going to do this with all of your little dough balls until you get 51. I got 54, but 51, trust me. And these are all of our dumpling skins. This is the last little dough ball going onto our stack of dumpling skins. Now let's go ahead and form these up. So we're going to take 3 of our dumpling skins, lay them out straight line, overlapping just a little bit, wetting the places where they overlap with a little water so they stick. Then we are going to lay down 1.5 tablespoons of our filling straight down the middle, leaving a little bit on the edges free, so we can roll this. Then we are going to wet that bottom half as well, and we're going to roll this in half, a little like a taco, leaving some space on top. Then we're going to go from one end and start wrapping this up as tightly as possible. Just give this a little roll. If some of the filling squeezes out, that is perfectly fine. When you get to the end, wet the end, fold it over, and there you have your little rose. And these are adorable. We're going to continue to do that till we've used up all of our skin and all of our filling. And this is what you get, 18 little roses. Now I couldn't find my steamer baskets, so I'm just using a steamer rack with enough water just so it goes right underneath the bottom. You don't want it touching the bottom. Then we're going to layer on some cabbage leaves or parchment, whatever you have on hand. And we are going to go ahead and space our dumplings apart about 1 inch. Once that water starts steaming, whatever you're not cooking right away, put in the freezer, freeze completely, and then put in a storage container. Pop a lid on this, and we're going to let these steam away for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, take off the lid, turn off the heat, let them sit for a minute. Now I've just plated these and garnished with a little bit of scallion. I made a sauce on the side. The recipe's in the description box below. And now let's go ahead and get this taste. The dumplings are delicious. They're beautiful to look at. They're beautiful to eat. They're savory. The dumpling skins are soft and tender. And this is a perfect little Valentine's gift to give to your loved one, your family. If you have friends over, they can help you roll these. But these are beautiful and absolutely delicious. But they're there. Rose-shaped Valentine's Day dumplings. I hope y'all try to make this in your home. Thank you so much for spending time with me again today. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you like this video, give it a like. If you loved it, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you haven't already, because I put out new videos every Thursday. Thank you again. Happy Valentine's Day. And until next time, happy cooking.